It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Ravens and the Bears coming up next.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Ravens in this matchup, you figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear advantage on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and they totally understand it, not just by running the numbers, but those numbers do play into it because you've got one of the better passing offenses in the league, a top 10 unit.
Of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't it? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A huge play there for Chicago. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at about the 31. The 20.
You get nothing.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A huge play there for Chicago.
And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
Carr now on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know and often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament, and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Tony Field in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. After one, a 14-3 ball game. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Forced out to his left. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one.
Carr's throw there, complete to Rodgers.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
On first down, Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
Now Carr. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Hey, we're going to do what we do.
And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Tony Field, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. They've got his man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, 83 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing now is Carr. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. No doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
13, 13. 24's the mic. You ain't going nowhere. 24's the mic. Hey,
throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Anthony Schwartz. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Chicago! A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will cut the lead down to 15. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Lamar Jackson heading back out as we check out our player spotlight. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Jackson on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. He'll get 11 yards back on the scramble as it brings up 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He's got a man, complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He's going to try and go deep again. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half, and they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. Now they're just going to run it here up the middle, and he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. At the 23-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now a give, right side. Kendrick. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Kendrick. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 3rd down, Kendrick. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Kendrick. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. Now a give, right side. Kendrick. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge. No place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
And he's going to be out of bounds, a few yards shy of the line to gain, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football. To Montgomery to begin the drive. Shoves him aside. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Robinson here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Mike 42, check.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Montgomery will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
This is all time.
So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. They won on 2 fronts there, so to speak, Charles. Not only do they stop him short of the first, they get him out of bounds and stop the clock.
Yeah, they won. The offensive guys lost because they wanted to stay in bounds and have that clock run or force you to use timeouts. Instead, the defense won, as you mentioned, on both fronts.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Carr.
Yeah, that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On 1st down, Carr.
This one swung out to Montgomery. And he's got a 1st down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2.
Carr going to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there. 39 yards. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Bears will get the football back. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Carr. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's brought down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Carr to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Here's Carr. A big play, and this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. But, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback.